Very good. Good morning, one and all. A continuation of last night's cup of tea light, dregs of tea, no tea, bowl of porridge, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, something like that. We didn't get through all the questions. It was a busy, packed cup of tea last night. A good show, Geo, I think. We enjoyed that one.
I enjoyed it. Hopefully everybody watching or will go to watch it enjoys it too. That's the main thing, Gonzo. I certainly had fun.
Absolutely, but there were some questions left over.
Oh, there's plenty.
You've got a juicy one to start with, apparently.
I said a fun one. I never said a juicy one. Let's lower the expectations here, okay? But anyway, it's from Nick Craven. He said 2 Aussie-themed questions. So question number 1. In their primes and to suit this West Ham team, you have to start one, bench one, and sell one.
Oh, I like that. Your
3 players are Harry Kewell, Mark Viduka, and Tim Cahill.
Okay, can I just say that up until the point where he signed for Liverpool, the Leeds Harry Kewell was one of the best players I've ever seen in the Premier League.
Right? I agree. Loved him.
So I'm picking that Harry Kewell. So I'm playing him. Also, there was a time of Viduka as well, where Viduka was a hell of a striker. I don't think we need Tim Cahill, by the way, for, arriving late from midfield with those headers. I think we got one of those. So I'm going to sell Tim Cahill and I will put Mark Viduka on the bench for when Mikel Antonio gets knackered. But Harry Kewell, what a bloody player he was.
Oh, I'm half tempted to agree with you here, but I'm half tempted to play Mark Viduka as well, because I thought when he was in his prime in the Premier League at Leeds, even at Newcastle, he had spells there. I thought he was just... I think he's one of the most underrated Premier League players we've seen. Really, no one really speaks about him as like a Premier League legend or that. He's not really a legend per se, but it's easy to dismiss players like him for some reason. I think I'd put Viduka in, but you know what else I'd do? I think I'd play Antonio on the wing. I think I'd move Antonio back just to be different to you. But I'd agree. I'd sell Tim Cahill at M3. And also he says, my fellow countryman Matt Ryan at Brighton isn't getting into the team. Would you take him when Fabianski retires? And he says, cheers, boys. Adore the channel from Adelaide.
I don't know enough about him. You'll have to say about the keeper.
Oh, he's a really good keeper. But my concern would be why he's been dropped at Brighton. He has been dropped. He's not injured. He's dropped. But would I take him? Not really, to be honest with you. I'd want someone a little bit more substantial. Is he a good sub-keeper? I think so.
He's very substantial. What is he, tiny?
No, well, he's not the tallest keeper in the world. But I'd want someone that comes in and puts Fabianski on the bench. I think Matt Ryan wouldn't do that. But I do think he's one of the nicest players in the Premier League. I've seen he does a lot for Australia, and I like players that do stuff like that. It was to do with the fire back in literally a year ago. He was doing a lot of stuff. I can't remember what he was doing, but he was doing a lot of stuff to raise money for it. And I like players that are a little bit humble. Dan B, if you could only keep one out of Lanzini, Benrahma and Fornals, who would it be?
Oh, that's really good.
It is.
That's really good. And I'm going to surprise everyone here. I say everyone. I won't surprise the people who have guessed it. I think I'm going to go with Fornals. Because I just think he plays a vital part in what David Moyes has wanted to do. I think he is going to be a Ginger Pele type player where we will look back and think, wow, this guy was West Ham through and through. Sort of came over and just got what it was about. I think his commitment. I think he's got the best nickname out of the lot as well. Yeah, I do. I think it would probably be Fornals. Although it probably should be Benrahma. For skills, Fornals don't get anywhere near Benrahma, but just what I'm going to go with Fornals.
If I could have prime Lanzini, I'd have Lanzini. Current form right now today, it would be Fornals as well. I think he suits us better. And I think out of the 3 of them, he's the one I'm more confident that's actually going to get better. I think Benrahma will get better. I think once he starts getting goals and stuff. But I actually think for Fornals, I think he's a couple of years younger than Benrahma, actually. I think Fornals has got the potential to go on and become, I was going to say borderline world class, but I do think he's got a couple of levels to go up, and I do think he can become a full team member of that Spain squad as well going forward. I think Fornals has still got a couple of levels to go where I think this is as good as it gets for Benrahma, which is like a decent Premier League team. I think Fornals could go play for a Champions League team if he ups his game.
Crikey.
I do. I think so. Maybe not in the Premier League. He might have to go to Spain to go play in the Champions League, but I do think Fornals has got a bit more to come. Yeah.
Fornals off to Champions League team.
Wait and see. Just wait and see. James Gunn, discount the love / final goal Upton Park. Who is better, prime Winston Reid or prime Ogbonna? Everybody's giving us.
They're good. They're good.
I'm going to say Winston Reid.
I'm
going to say Winston Reid.
The only thing I'd say is I think it may well come to pass that Ogbonna has competed for West Ham at a higher, been consistent at a higher level than Reid. I think it may well be that. So you say what you want about the owners. Actually, we're in quite a bit of a period of sustained Premier League football at the moment, without the ups and downs and the relegation and stuff like that. So I'm actually going to go with Ogbonna, but I don't think there's a lot in it. I do think it's a good question. There was certainly, I remember there being times of Winston Reid where I thought this guy is good enough to go and at the time play for Man United or play for. It wouldn't have surprised me if any of the big clubs had come calling. And I look at Ogbonna, and it's only his age that stops me thinking that. But I do look at him and think I wouldn't have surprised me if in this transfer window, because of what happened to Van Dijk, if Liverpool had come along and said, "There you go, 15 million. We'll take him." Even though he's 33 or whatever, wouldn't have surprised me now. I think he's that good.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ogbonna's more consistent, but in terms of ability, I think Winston Reid just pips it for me. I think it's because I'm a bit biased, because I still remember that performance at Manchester City where he was just unbelievable. It's the best individual performance I've seen from a defender at West Ham in my lifetime, I think. He was just incredible, and I think that's what sort of plays on my mind. So I'll say Winston Reid. Hammer 1999, with Mark Noble currently not in the starting 11, who would be your selected penalty taker?
I wonder if Bowen can take penalties. I don't know why. I that seems to make sense for some reason. I don't know. I've got it in my mind he could take a penalty, actually.
Do you know who I would? For the reason, I don't know why I would pick this player. Well, I do know why, because I'm picking him. Aaron Creswell.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I would. I think he's calm. I think he's composed. I think he's got a really good technique. I think I'd back Aaron Creswell to stick it away. Trying to think if there's anyone I wouldn't fancy, bar the obvious centre backs. I don't think for some reason.
Yarmolenko would have been an option, but he's not on the pitch enough.
For some reason, I wouldn't fancy Benrahma taking one. I don't know why. I think he'd try something. I think he would. He would, and he'd try and dink it or something. You just
would do something. What was his name of the Fulham one? Lookman.
Yeah, Lookman.
Yeah.
I think he would try something like that. Creswell, he's my man. Ash, it was Ash's birthday yesterday. Tonight, day of recording. So
Ash Miles.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Ash. Don't know how old he is.
He looks about 45.
He doesn't look 45. I think he's 30. I don't know how old he is. I feel like I should know how old he is.
He's late 20s, early 30s.
Ash said, what is your favourite result / performance of the season so far? Now, that could be two different answers, so pick one and say why.
Sorry, my favourite what?
Result / performance. So it could be two different answers.
I was delighted. Last season or this season?
This season.
Oh, this season. It's hard to go away from the 3-0 or the 4-0 Wolves and Leicester, because it was so swashbuckling. But there was something special. I know it was only a draw. There was something special about what happened against Tottenham. That was. I think because I sort of felt we were losing, and because because I know some Tottenham fans who were very good, to be fair. They didn't give me stick and all that. And in fact, there was a Tottenham fan who was messaging me during the game and actually said to me, I think you're going to get back into this. So, it's not I was getting loads of stick, but I think, there was something about that as well. Yeah, sorry, a bit of a crap answer, Ash. But
I'm going to say Leicester. I expected us to get beat, to be honest with you, draw at best. But we were just unbelievable. We played them off the park and we just kept going. I was entertained from the first minute to the last minute. I was just entertained. And what a win that was. It was just unbelievable. Especially when you look at Leicester City now, with hindsight.
Yeah.
You look where they are. They're top of the league.
He's doing well. I looked at the league today. They must be looking at that now, Leicester, and thinking, we've got a chance again here.
Yeah. Definitely, and so they should. Tommy Gunn. Tommy says, if we received an offer between 15 and 20 million for Diop and you could reinvest it, would you take it?
Well, Tommy, I think you've got to look at it at some point. If he's not going to feature, there's something going on. Look, Moyes wants his own players now. I mean, this is clear. We're looking at he's getting rid of players that and or they're not featuring that were signed by the previous regime, and there ain't an awful lot featuring that were signed relatively recently. I mean, you look at someone like Antonio. Antonio's been here a long time. It was Bilic that sort of brought Antonio in, and even that was argued whether he brought him in at the time. He's just got his own ideas. So yeah, if he's not going to feature, we have to take the money if it's going to be reinvested elsewhere. If it gives David Moyes a player that he's going to use, it makes sense.
Yeah, I completely agree. I would sell him because we're not playing him. We were getting £20 million for someone that's not in the squad at the minute. Essentially, we're getting £20 million for our fifth choice centre back, regardless of who it is. That's a good deal. Also, we're going to have a centre back issue at some point. Ogbona's in his 30s, Dawson's in his 30s, Balbuena's now in his 30s, who needs a new deal, by the way. I'd like to see him get a new contract ASAP. But in 2 or 3 seasons, all them three are going to need replaced. I've got a little bit of hope that at least he will become a centre-back for West Ham in that time. That will take him up to about 21, 22 years of age. I would like to hope he's made the step up. I'm hoping that Alves, something comes of Alves. We brought him in. He's been in the squad from the word go, so they've obviously seen something in him that suggests that he can step up. Now, if they've got enough faith in Alves to be the 4th, 5th choice centre-back, then you've already replaced Diop. You've already got your guy in there. So I would sell him and use that 20 million elsewhere in the squad. And if that gets David Moyes' number one striker, like the Sevilla guy, we are 15, 20 million short.
Yeah.
And what would you rather have? Diop and a striker Moyes doesn't want, or no Diop and the striker David Moyes wants?
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer for me. So I would take the money and run. Personally, it's a shame, but I'd also take it as a lesson, which is, don't always be scared to sell your best players, because they won't always be your best players. We could have sold Diop for 50 million and we didn't. It's the right thing to do at the times, but just goes to show you need selling is arguably more important than buying in terms of moving forward as a football club.
And stealing is more important than selling.
It is, but I hate it, Gonzo. I hate when there's a rumour about our key player, one of our top players. I hate when there's rumours that clubs want him, and our club just goes into panic mode. Leaks come out everywhere. Oh, we're not selling him. We're not selling him. Well, you will sell him. Almost, it's better off just leaking the price. Declan Rice, 100 million. You want Rice? That's all right. You can have him. He's 100 million. That is the price. So don't bother coming up here with your 60 million. Don't bother sending that in. And then it's 100 million. I just wish that we would just be a bit more open to selling anybody, but a bit firmer with it as well. Like bullying people. You want him, that's fine, but you're paying our price. A bit like what Sevilla are doing. He's 40 million. 25? No, he's 40 million. Anyway, a couple more questions and we'll wrap this one up. I missed it. I've missed it. There was a good one. We're not going to do Europa League questions because we're going to do a video specifically about that one as well. Irish Tommy says, what would your opinion be if we don't sign a striker in time for the Crystal Palace game?
I would think it's getting a squeaky bum, Tommy. I think we're in a perfect position actually to sign a striker now. So we've got the cup game, which affords a little bit of breathing space. I said it, I think, on a previous video. 48 hours is a long time in the transfer window. That affords you some time to bring somebody in. I don't want us to try and play silly buggers by now until the end of the season and try and do it really late, because you've seen that Benrahma thing almost fell through. I think there's a game of chicken going on. I don't want to play chicken. I really don't. I want to get the guys in because the fixtures are so thick and fast, mate. There is a massive risk, not even if not just the Crystal Palace game, the one after or the one after that actually we play Liverpool on the 31st or something like that. Yeah, we need fit strikers, and we need more than one of them. But I think a lot of it is based on whether Odebeko features or not. If Odebeko features and maybe plays against Doncaster, then it sort of does take the pressure off Antonio, but only for one game. It delays. It gives us one more game's worth of time to bring the new guy in.
Yeah, when do we play Palace? I assume that's the game after the transfer window, is it?
No. We play Doncaster on Saturday, I think, and then we play Palace on Tuesday.
So just under a week, so 5-6 nights time.
Yes. Yeah, we got 2
I'll be
games.
okay with that then. As long as we get Moyes as number one striker, I'm happy to wait a few more days because assuming Antonio's fit, obviously if Antonio's not fit, then
I
it
think so.
becomes a.
I think so. Listen,
No,
I'm gonna.
you're right. You're right. I
Am
remember
I?
we had a
Yeah,
game. I didn't know who it was, and then
yeah,
I know we got Sheffield United. I think Sheffield United is the first game after the transfer window shuts. Um,
yeah.
but it depends on Antonio. Is Antonio fit enough for Palace? Yes, and I don't mind not having a striker by then. But if he's not fit, he's injured, then we need a striker by then. It's as simple as that, really. And we won't know until the Crystal Palace game, unfortunately. But as long as we get Moyes as first choice striker, there's no point wasting games and then getting in his fourth choice striker. You might as well just get the fourth choice striker in now. That's what you're going to end up doing. So he's actually got him in time for stuff. But last question is from T Chambers 2811. He says, if we had a choice between Adam Armstrong of Blackburn or Ivan Toney of Brentford, who would you choose? He chooses Ivan Toney.
I've got to be honest, mate. I've not seen enough of Tony. Obviously, I'm aware of what he's doing. I've even been aware that Arsenal are having a little look at him as well. Apparently, they're doing something right consistently. Brentford, aren't they? Oh, blimey! If we could just buy their whole recruitment setup and just put it in West Ham, the whole team from top to bottom, the financial director, the footballing director, put it in West Ham, I think we'd do wonders. I've not seen him. I do. I feel that Armstrong would do really well in our system. He's so quick and he can pull wide. Rapid gives you a real option, but I do think that he is probably too small for David Moyes, which is the difference. I didn't look at Armstrong and think, oh, bad player. I looked at Armstrong and thought, good player. But my initial reaction was, Moyes ain't going to be interested in this player. And that's why when I said I saw that video of En-Nesyri at Sevilla, I looked at him and thought, yeah, I can see that does look like the sort of guy that David Moyes would buy. That's my only thing. Tony, I've not seen enough of.
Yeah, it would be Ivan Toney for me. My one concern about buying a striker from the Championship is actually almost Ollie Watkins, really. I think he's now gone 9 games without scoring for Aston Villa. It's a long time to go. He fits the way they play perfectly.
Yes.
He does all the running and stuff like that. And when other players are scoring, it's all right. When Grealish is chipping in, Bartley's chipping in, Traore, El Ghazi, when they're scoring, you're okay. But when they're sort of not scoring, but they're still creating chances and striker ain't scoring, that's when it becomes a bit of an issue. And you look at Neil Maupay at Brighton, he's doing okay, but he's not set the league alight, has he? He's 8-10 goal a season kind of striker. So that's the last 2 big money strikers from the Championship have come up and they've done okay. It's sort of like, is the Championship a good guide to strikers or not, is the big question. And it's a difficult one to gauge. We know attacking midfielders are. Eze's come up and done quite well. Bowen's come up and done quite well. We know that. We've seen that. But is strikers, sometimes positions are difficult. You can take defenders out of the league and they'll do well, but not so much for strikers.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And just there's not really any, coming to the top of my head now, there's not really any obvious strikers that have stepped up to the Premier League and just smashed out the park, really. That's my only reservation with getting from there. Anyway, Gonzo, over to you.
Yeah, lovely. I think that's about it. Thank you for joining me, Geo, on this impromptu. We had a lot of questions to get through, though. We'll be back. We'll be back lots, mate. The games are thick and fast. Reviews, previews, Patreon. Come check us out on Patreon. All the stuff. You know all this. I say this every day. I'm going to press end. Stop recording now. We've got so many. We've got so many different things that we use. YouTube, StreamYard, Skype, OBS, and each and every one has a button in a different place. So I often find myself at the end of the video, I want to be slick, I want to be smooth. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you weren't slick or smooth here. Yeah, this is weird for me because normally I'm the one pushing the buttons. So I'm sort of looking at you like, will you push the button, please?
You don't have control,
I
do
would
you?
have pushed the button by now.
You probably would. Goodbye, one and all.